Okay. Hey there. I'm starting another starting another series, Significant Stones of the Bible. Um, I'm going to start with the stones in the Exodus story. Uh, the stone where twice, while they're in the desert wandering, they come to a place uh, where they don't have any water. They start complaining about not having any water, and twice God says to Moses, go over to the stone in front of all the people, and I'll bring water forth from the stone. And so that's just what happens in both cases. Uh, as you read it, it happens in Exodus 17 and in Numbers chapter 20. And of course, there's other parts of the story that are interesting that I encourage you to read. But just focusing on the idea of the stone. So the uh, stones in Scripture are, looked upon like stones today. We don't get all that excited about common stones. We think of them as simple inanimate objects. The larger stones we think of as uh, durable. We don't take note of, any explosive energy or a whatever. They don't do anything. They endure. And so if there was any symbolic qualities, positive qualities to a stone, that would be its endurance. But otherwise, they're inanimate. And so uh, the idea that when the people of God are crying out that we don't have any water, and he brings them fresh water out of what they had looked upon as an inanimate, useless stone, something that was there that they walked past, but thought nothing of. Uh, I suppose one way you could read that, one way you could look at that, uh, would be that there are things in our lives that we might think are insignificant or even inanimate and useless, not life bringing, not life giving. Um, that could be for people. I mean, there could be people in our lives that we think of like that, and yet God has the ability, and even as we had talked about donkeys before, God sometimes prefers to use things like that to bring us life, to bring us peace and comfort, uh, to underscore the fact that the power belongs to Him. And so, um, in a very simple application, I think that many people in America probably have a book laying on their shelves um, that they think of as simply a book, a pile of paper, binding, some ink, and think of it as insignificant, uh, and yet um, the book I'm thinking of, the Bible, which is in most homes probably, or at least a significant amount of homes, is often ignored, but it's a stone that endures and that will continue to be there, and has life in it that you might not have ever seen before. You may have walked past it a million times and not recognize the significant, life-changing power within it. I'd encourage you to dig into it. I believe there's life in there for all of us. So anyway, we'll continue with significant stones of the Bible and see where it takes us. See you.